Long before there were guidebooks, keywords, and online tarot courses, there were stories, images, symbols, mysteries that invited people to look deeper. That is how the tarot was meant to be experienced, not as a test of memorization, not as a collection of fixed meanings, but as a conversation between the visible and the invisible, between the conscious mind and the deeper wisdom that exists beneath it. Many people begin tarot by asking, what does this card even mean? Over time, a different question emerges. What is Spirit trying to show me? That question changes everything because tarot is not simply a deck of cards. It is a symbolic language, a bridge between intuition and awareness, a way for guidance to take shape through images, archetypes, and story. In today's Mystical Minds, we're exploring tarot as a living conversation with spirit, how the cards communicate, why symbols matter, and how to move beyond memorization into a relationship. Because the deepest readings do not come from knowing every meaning, they come from learning how to listen. And hey, everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Mystical Minds Podcast. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm the creator of Out of Body Ecstasy and Soulful Connection with over 40 years of experience as a psychic, energy worker, and soul connection specialist. Over the years, I've written 9 books with my latest, The Constant Cravings of Soulful Connections, just out now on Amazon. Please pick it up. I've got paperback and Kindle versions. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and the wildly mysterious side of life. From energy reading to spirit guides, soulmates, sacred rituals, nothing is off limits here. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into the mystery together. Woohoo! Yeah, as I mentioned, my latest book is out, The Constant Craving of Soulful Connections. You will find it on Amazon in a Kindle version and a paperback version. And twinflamesoulmate.com is also where I have the soulmate slash soulful connection readings. Right now, I just have 3 of them up. I have probably about 15, but I'm exploring these 3 first to see how you guys like them. So check them out. Let me know. All right, so this us into the card of the week. Now, you would think since we're talking about tarot that I would have a tarot deck, correct? Correct. I haven't been able to find it since I moved. I'm not sure where the heck it's at. So, although I'm talking about tarot decks, I'm going to use an oracle card deck. They are 2 different things, and I'm using Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. So, let's see what the oracle cards have to say about our week. And it doesn't matter if you're listening to this episode today or 5 years from now. This card is for you for this week. All right. Let's pick a card here. Something good, I hope. It's going to be an amazing week, right? That's what I'm sticking to. We have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Well, I don't know about you, but it's a long way off if, if what I see is happening. But I think really what this card is saying is that we each have to create our heaven on earth. We each have to create our surroundings of peace and joy and comfort within our own homes. And, if you share your home with other people, maybe you can do it if you have a bedroom for yourself, maybe you can create some sort of sanctuary for your bedroom. If you share your bedroom with others, maybe where your bed is can be your little sanctuary. We're all in charge of our own happiness and our own peace and creating heaven on earth. But it would be nice, not going to lie, if gas prices would come down instead of going up, if grocery prices would come down, if my property taxes weren't so high, and that my utility bills, it's like I'm going to have to, I don't know, bleed from my veins in order to pay the utility bills. But you know what I mean. All of that's out of our control. Okay. What is in our control is what we do with our surroundings. So this week, create your heaven on earth. Create your little sanctuary space. space. Could be you could draw pictures and put them up, put some stones there. Maybe if you have an essential oil, a little bit of aromatherapy. Um, if you don't have any stones or essential oils or flower essences, go outside and maybe pick a dandelion up and bring it. Okay, and as that dies, then you take that outside and get another dandelion, and so forth. It's whatever you're capable of with whatever items you can get a hold of to create your sanctuary. All right? All right. So let's move forward to the mystical item of the week, and it's having a personal tarot deck. I really got to find mine. Um, so we're not talking about crystals, we're not talking about an herb, we're talking about an actual tarot deck. You can find them on, gosh, I got my first one on, I don't even know. I went to a metaphysical store here in Akron. That was a long time ago. Uh, but I also have been able to find some on eBay, and of course, Amazon always has Oracle and tarot cards. But you can find them there, or you can go to Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure you'll find a deck there too. They really are everywhere if you want to find one. Okay. A tarot deck becomes familiar through use. Okay. Through the shuffling, through the readings, through quiet moments of reflection. And over time, certain cards begin speaking more strongly. You'll see that patterns emerge, messages repeat. The deck becomes less like a tool and more like a trusted companion. This week, get a deck if you don't have one, and spend a few extra moments connecting with your cards. Shuffle them slowly, study the artwork, notice which cards immediately draw your attention, and then ask yourself, what card seems to be calling for my awareness right now? The goal is not to do a reading for yourself. The goal is to strengthen your relationship with the deck, because the deeper your connection with the cards, the clearer the conversation becomes. My favorite card of the deck is the sun. Absolutely love the sun. I love the star. Um, the tower, you look at it and it's like, oh my God, what is this? But it's something happening that comes out of left field. There have been good things that have come about when I've drawn the tower card. There have been things that at first look really horrible, um, but end up being a blessing in disguise. It's usually always a blessing in disguise, but there's a lot of things to work through when you get the tower, and it happens. Um, the major arcana cards, like the star, the tower, the magician, um, the high priestess, etc. They are about energies that are outside of your control. So whatever's going to happen is outside energy. Okay. Some sort of outside energy is directing you to the outcome with that major arcana card. The minor arcana cards, which come with wands, pentacles, cups, um, swords. And if they're not wands, they could be staffs. It all depends what kind of tarot deck you get. But anything in the minor arcana realm is within your power to change if you don't like what card you pick. Okay, because it's whatever your direct actions or inaction is doing, is what that card is telling you. All right, so let's move on with our overview, or our not overview, our subject of the week, which happens to be tarot, but tarot as a living conversation with spirit. So, tarot as a language. Many people begin tarot by memorizing meanings. The full means new starts, start at zero, new happenings, new beginnings. The tower means something's coming out of left field. The star means something else. Memorization, it has value, but eventually every reader discovers something important. The tarot is not a collection of definitions. It's a language. Every card is a symbol. Every spread is a conversation. Every reading tells a story. When you stop asking, what does this card mean? And begin asking, what is this card trying to communicate? Your relationship with the cards change. The cards become alive. Not because the cardboard itself contains power, but because the symbols create a bridge between the conscious awareness and spiritual insight. The bridge is where the conversation begins. Now, spirit rarely communicates in complete sentences, don't I know? Instead, communication often arrives through images, feelings, memories, archetypes, symbols. The tarot mirrors this natural process. The cards provide a symbolic vocabulary that allows information to take shape. This is one reason two readers may pull the same card and notice different aspects of it. The symbol remains the same, the message shifts based on the situation. A card does not exist in isolation, it exists within the context of a question, a person, and a moment in time. This is why tarot remains endlessly rich. The symbols continue revealing new layers of meaning as your awareness expands. So, one of the biggest shifts in tarot development occurs when you stop reading individual cards and start reading relationship between the cards. A spread functions much like a story. Each card influences the cards around it. The cards create movement, they create tension, resolution, possibility. For example, the Tower, followed by the Star, tells a very different story from the Tower, followed by the Five of Pentacles. The cards are speaking to one another. The more you learn to observe the conversation between the symbols, the deeper your reading becomes. Experienced readers often spend less time looking at the individual meanings and more time observing the narrative unfolding across the entire spread. Now, over time, every tarot reader develops a unique relationship with their cards. Certain cards may reoccur within specific life themes. Some cards may become personal messengers. Others, well, they're going to challenge you. The relationship deepens through the practice. The more consistently you work with a deck, the more familiar its symbolic language becomes. This is why many experienced readers keep journals. Patterns emerge. Recurring themes reveal itself. The deck develops a voice, not because the deck changes, but because your ability to listen to it improves. Now, perhaps the greatest misconception about the tarot is that the cards exist to tell us what to do. Well, tarot is not a replacement for your intuition, it is a partner to intuition. A reading creates a space where awareness can expand. The cards illuminate possibilities, highlight blind spots, and reveal energetic currents. They offer guidance. The final choice always remains yours. This is what makes tarot empowering. It does not take your power away. It strengthens your connection to your own wisdom while opening a conversation with spirit. The cards become less about answers and more about relationships. And relationship is where the deepest guidance is often found. So start working with the tarot deck if you haven't already. I've had people ask me, "Well, can I work with the app version?" I have an app on my phone of a tarot deck. Is that the same thing? No, it's really not. I wish it was, but with holding an actual card in your hand, you develop an energy exchange with the deck. Okay. You can't have that same energy exchange with an app. I wish you could. I really wish you could, but you can't. So I just highly suggest that you use a physical deck. And if you have an app deck right now, you can practice with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you're not going to get the conversation, the relationship we're talking about until you have a physical deck. All right? All right. And remember, anytime I do these Mystical Mind episodes, this is a jumping off point. This is not the end all to be all. Do your research. Jump into learning more about the tarot. It's a wonderful tool to explore and to seek its advice and develop a relationship with it. I've been using one now for over 50 years and I really do love them. They've become a part of who I am, which is fantastic. All right. So your soul work for the week, you're going to see that below. It's all about beginning a conversation with your deck, okay, and looking at the cards. And I want to remind you that a tarot is a relationship. The cards are not images on paper. They are doorways into symbolic language, spiritual practice, and a deeper awareness. When you sit with your deck, you're not only asking for answers, you're entering into a conversation. It's a conversation with spirit, with your intuition, with the patterns moving beneath the surface of your life. This month on Mystical Minds, we are exploring how guidance arrives through symbol signs and sacred language. Tarot gives us one of the clearest ways to practice that listening. All right, so until next week, pull the card, study the image, trust what rises, and remember, the cards speak most clearly when you stop trying to control the message and begin listening for the conversation. And that's a wrap here in this episode of Mystical Minds. I hope it sparks something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, a nudge from your soul. I tried to get on TikTok so that I could do this live, so I could record this and do it live, and I completely fubbed it up. So I'm going to try it again next week, knock on wood. Hopefully, I can find my stand so I can stand my phone up right next to me. So send out some good energy for me for that I find it and use it next week. If you're craving more, don't forget to join the Mystical Minds group. There is a free and a paid version. It's a safe, sacred space to explore your spiritual gifts, trust your intuition, and grow as a soul. And if soulmates, twin flames, karmic bonds, and etc. excite you, don't forget to visit the Soulful Connections Academy, which I'm still working on, but that's also where the Soulful Connection readings are at. That's where we're going to explore how to move from constant cravings to conscious connection without losing yourself. And you can, of course, always, if you don't want to get a reading from me on the Soulful Connection Academy website, you can also go to outofbodyecstasy.com and grab one. All right. All right. So until next time, guys, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember endless possibilities, infinite you.